Hello, 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 sellers. How are you? Come on in. Come on in. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling on eBay. So, it's the fall. Just to date this, it's October 2025. So, we are in fourth quarter. Fourth quarter is typically sellers' busiest season. But that being said, for some sellers, it's not. Like sellers are messaging me saying, I was expecting a lot of sales and I'm just not getting it. So that's why I'm doing this live stream. So those of you that join me on my Facebook business page, I love to be selling. Thank you, and welcome on in. And say hello. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know, are you getting sales right now, or are you going through a bit of a slump? It helps me in creating videos that are going to help you. Those of you that download my podcast, thank you. I so appreciate it. And please, you too, you can message me. You have my email, Kathy at ilovetobeselling.com. And let me know, are your sales right now? Are you doing well? Is it a little slow? Hang on a second. I'm checking to see if my mic is on. Yes, it is. Okay, good. You never know. It's always good to check. So let me know. And those of you that watch me on YouTube, please just comment below on the YouTube and let me know. So typically, this is a very busy season for eBay sellers. Yay, right? It's like we've been stocking up all summer long from estate sales and retail stores and cleaning out our closets and friends and relatives and all different ways that we source. And we've been listing, and we're continuing to list. And for some sellers, their sales are on the uptick. Yay. And for other sellers, it may be on a bit of an uptick, but we want more. We said, Kathy, I want more sales. So if your sales are a little slumped, or they're going up, but you'd like to sort of kickstart them, right? It's like, how can I get more sales? I mean, I'm getting them, but I want more, right? I want more sales. I've got this inventory. I've spent this money, and I want to see the sales. So how do I do this? How do I attract shoppers? And that's what it's really about. I've done my listing. As far as I know, it's optimized the best I know how. I've checked my pricing. You always want to do that. Make sure you're competitive. And I've got my listing up, and it's something that I think should sell, and it's just not. What can I do? So what you want to do, so it's up. You've got your listing up. You've got your listings up, and you're just not getting the sales that you think you should be getting. Okay. So what on earth can you do? And this is when you think brick and mortar retail. So if you don't know, I have quite extensive brick and mortar retail experience here in New York City, working at some really, really big stores like Macy's Terrill Square, yay Macy's, also Crate & Barrel, Bloomingdale's. And the great thing about working in brick and mortar retail is you learn a lot about attracting customers. And they're working on foot traffic, so people actually walking into the store. But if you think about it, for us as sellers, that's what we're trying to attract, but it's virtual traffic, right? I'm trying to get them to click my listing, to look at my listing, and come and shop with me. But it's the same thing. It's like, how do I get them to me? Because you've got to realize, yes, Macy's Herald Square is a very famous store, but there are a lot of other stores in New York City that people can be shopping in, right? And same thing with Bloomingdale, same thing with Crate & Barrel. So they've got to work on standing out in a very competitive marketplace, just like we've got to work to stand out on eBay. So how on earth do we do this? So how do I get my listings to stand out and attract buyers? Again, when it could be slumping a little bit. This is an expert tip. I've gotten this one from eBay from many, many, many different staff members when I have meetings. And it's also one I've tested myself. I love getting tips from people, but then I always go and test it. And I test it with multiple sellers because I get to manage some accounts and also work with a lot of great sellers in my membership. And also test it with my members and test it with my one-on-one clients to see if it works. And to test it in different categories. And some things are really great, let's say like in clothing, but it's not so great in business and industrial. And some things might work great with eBay Motors, but it's not so great with jewelry. So it's good to check things in different categories. This one works in multiple categories. So take a look at using eBay Best Offer. And if you're already using Best Offer and you're going, Kathy, it's not working for me, hang tight. I've got tips for you because it can go up and down in its effectiveness. And you go, okay, Kathy, what is Best Offer? So what it is in the listing flow, you agree to accept offers, okay? So then on your listing, it will show that you accept offers. Okay. So the first thing about using best offer, which you will find, is people will go ahead and buy it at full price. I've had this happen numerous times, and you let me know if it's happened to you too, if you're using best offer. And that's always great. You're like, yeah, I mean, it's because I'll go and check the sold because I know it's a listing that I've got best offer on, or I'll check my clients on. I know we've got, and it's sold for full price. And I'll tell you why, because some people, yes, they see the offer, but they really want it. They don't want to risk not getting it, right? Because you've only got one listed. And they pay it. They're like, you know what? I can't even be bothered with best offer. I'm just going to go ahead and pay full price because they really, really want it. Yay. The other thing with best offer is it encourages what's called engagement, which means somebody has decided to click on your listing and they're interested enough to send you an offer to go, okay, it's listed at $65. Will you take 50? And what it triggers to eBay, because you remember the eBay algorithms, right, is one of the pillars of search, and eBay has stated this, is relevancy. Relevancy means this is an item that is relevant, of interest to this shopper or this group of shoppers, okay? So, like it's a Johnny Was shirt, and it's floral, size large. So then Johnny Was shoppers, people that are looking for Johnny Was that typically buy large, if you've got a large shirt listed, there's a good shot it's going to get shown to this person in their feed when they're searching Johnny Was large, right? So when you get an offer, so you've put best offer on your Johnny Was shirt. This is Johnny Was, by the way. I happen to really like it. It triggers to eBay that this shirt that I have listed is of interest. It has relevancy. Somebody is interested enough to send an offer. It gives you a boost in best match. Now, does this mean that the shirt shoots to the top of best match? No, it could. It could. And I've actually seen that with things that I send an offer on, because I'll shop on eBay and for myself and my husband, but also shop to flip. So I'll send a best offer, and then I'll go back and I'll be looking incognito, and it'll be at the top of best match. Why? Because somebody just sent an offer of me. So all of a sudden this item is of relevancy. So it can really help you in best match search. And why do I care about that? Well, you've got things like promoted listings, which I love, which I use. And promoted listings is going to help you rank and search. So does best offer. And best offer doesn't cost you anything. I mean, yes, you're giving them a discount, so it's going to cost you there, just like if you're doing a coupon or a sale event. But you don't have to have an eBay store to do best offer. You can put best offer on any kind of listing, okay? And what you'll do with best offer, because obviously you want to watch your margins and you want to watch how much money you're making, right? Because we are eBay sellers, right? We are looking to sell items. We are looking to make money by selling items, is you want to watch your margins. So what I typically do, and margin is how much you make after eBay's final value fee, and new sellers, you need to pay attention because sometimes it's like, so it's how much you're making, eBay fees. If you're doing promoted listings, don't forget to add that in, because what happens is sometimes people get shocked. They haven't done the pricing correctly because they forget about the final value fee. They forget about the promoted listing fee, right? That goes on top of the final value fee. And if you offer free shipping, it's also going to be the cost of your shipping label. Okay. But the great thing with best offer is just absorb it into the price. So if I would sell, let's say I would take, I would normally list it fixed price, let's say for 45, you list it for 55 or 60 best offer. And this is the great thing. It might sell for 60. Yay. I just made more money than I thought I was going to, right? It's like, yay, I made it. It sold for 60, right? And I know that I'm willing to go down to like 45. So I'll throw best offer on and I just up the price. Now, this is where people get me on best offer. They're like, but Kathy, I've got best offer and I get all these crazy lowball offers, and it makes me really, really, it's annoying. Okay. And I've had a couple items that seem to attract the lowball people. And you might have things, that you have best offer on it and you're getting a lot of annoying lowball. And I mean, like it's a $50 item and people are sending you $2 offers. I get it. So this is a couple ways to think about that. Is if it's a certain category, let's say you're selling like a name brand, like maybe it's Nike sneakers, and you've got best offer on it, and you're getting these crazy lowball offers. And it can happen late at night. They actually had an article about this years ago. They called it drunken shopping. You know, people get loaded at night and then they go on eBay and send these crazy low offers. But if it's a specific category like sneakers, okay, or it could be collectible trading cards or something, and and I mean consistently, like every night you're getting slammed with this, or every day, you can set up what's called auto decline, which means you go up to a certain amount and it'll automatically decline it so you don't get the crazy lowball offers. The only thing with that is sometimes you can get the people up, and I've had this happen, and let me know if it's happened to you. So it'll be a $50 item, and they'll send me, a $5 offer, and I'll let it sit for an hour or so, and then I'll counter, and I know I'll take 45. So maybe I'll counter into $60 item. I might counter 50 because then I'm willing, I'll haggle a little bit and I'll come down and see if they come up. And if let's say it's been up for a year or two, oh gosh, this just happened to me on an item. It was an item that had been up. I've been ending relisting, sell similar, but I knew that the item had been around for a couple of years. And if I got an offer on, and I don't think I've ever gotten an offer on this item, and I have offer on it, it's sold. It sold last night, and I know I've had it for two, because in the SKU field, I always put when I buy the item. And it was something where it's like, they could have sent me an offer for $5. I probably would have sold it to them. I was so eager to get rid of this thing. I doubled my money, and it sold on an offer. So you never know. So you can do an auto decline. The only thing with auto decline, like I said, is sometimes you can counter them. So you just got to look at for yourself is if it's really annoying to you, maybe just go for a walk, just breathe deeply. But again, if it is a category, and I remember I had this, and for some reason, for a couple of months, this one category was getting crazy lowball offers. And I'm going to tell you what it was. It was men's Hawaiian shirts. So go figure. So I just did an auto decline of I just sort of bumped it up so that they had to at least be over like $20 to send me an offer. And you can do that. Now, what I do suggest with best offer, if you're not aware of this, you could do auto accept. So back to my $60 item, and I know I'll take 45. Set up auto, and it costs you no money to include it, right? It's not a thing like where you're adding a subtitle and it's costing you money, or a gallery plus picture and it's costing you money. This costs you no money. Auto accept, $45. And this is why, especially, we're all busy, right? We're all busy sellers, but particularly my part-time sellers, you've got a full-time job or you've got a part-time job, or elder care like me when I was starting taking care of my mom. Your time on eBay is very, very limited, and you might not be looking at your eBay count every 2 minutes. Is if they send you an offer for, get this, for 45 or more, right? And and it's a $60 item. They could send you an offer for 50. It will automatically accept it. It doesn't let the buyer know that you'll go as low as 45. But if they're looking at a $60 item and it's got best offer on it, they go, let me see if I can get it for 50. And they send the offer for 50, and you have auto accept at 45. eBay will automatically accept the offer. And the way payments is set up right now, they'll get the money, and you sold it, and you didn't have to do anything. Now all you got to do is pack it. So the reason to add best offer, and you don't need to add it on everything. If you've got it on stuff with really tight margins, it's up to you, and it's competitive and it's barcoded, which means other people have the barcode. Buyers are going to be searching by barcodes. You got to look at whether it's going to work for that. But on other items that aren't barcoded, and even if it's things like a Michael Kors purse where people know the style and they know the color and they know everything, it can still be worth it. Because if you look at it, there's going to be other sellers that don't have best offer. And you can price maybe a little higher than them, like just a little, like maybe $5 higher, and throw best offer on and see if you can get some offers. Again, set up auto accept at what you'll accept, because then it's one less thing you have to do. If you get crazy low balls, you take a look at auto decline. But just keep in mind that when people send you an offer, it gives you a boost in best match. Remember, I want to get stuff sold. That's how we started on this. I want to get stuff sold. I want to get more stuff sold. And how do you do that? You got to attract buyers. How do I attract buyers? Great listings. Of course, you have great listings, right? And the other thing is something like best offer. Again, you'll sell some at full price for people that don't want to haggle, but for people that are looking for a little bit of a deal, can I save $3 or $4 here, or $5 or $10 here, or whatever? Why not? You know what you're willing to accept it for. You know what you paid for it. Or like me with my item that's been there forever. I was like, please take it. I'm like, thank God this thing sold. And we've all had stuff like that, right? Let me know if you've had things like that where you're like, yes, thank goodness it finally sold. It gets customer engagement. It gets customer engagement. And let me tell you, that's what those big brands are after. That's what social media is all about. When people are looking at their accounts and they're looking at their posts on social media, they're looking at, did they get likes on it? Did they get comments on it? Okay. eBay, what they're looking for is, are people looking at your item? And let me tell you, you get more looks with best offer. Are they looking at your item? Are they clicking your item? And oh gosh, if they send you an offer, it goes to relevancy. So why not? Right? All you do is up your price, add best offer. And by the way, you can up your prices on bulk edits. So you take 20, 30 items. Okay, I'm going to up the price here. You can up by percentage or a dollar amount, whichever you want. So you can bulk edit, up the price, then bulk edit, and you add best offer. Boom. And now you can attract more buyers, right? Get more sales, because that's what it's all about. If you don't attract the buyer, it will not sell, right? And that's what it's all about. I've got a lot of great tips for you. All you do is you're going to hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com. And if you go on my website, what you're going to see is there's like a dashboard up at the top, just like eBay. And when you see it, you're going to see a thing. Here we are. In case you've never been on my website, please go. Across the top, there's a dashboard. Home, blog, eBay, gift certificates, business consultation, brand ambassador, toolkit, guides, and free tips. Hover your mouse over free tips, and there's all kinds of cool stuff here. eBay listings that sell, right? The topic we were just talking about. Also, you've got essential social media cheat sheet. So take a look at my website, ilovetobeselling.com. Look at the top dashboard. This is on a desktop, and you'll see free tips. Hover your mouse and grab the one that looks good for you. Great. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you use best offer. Let me know how it works for you. If there's certain categories you think it rocks and other ones that it's just not working. And listen, if you haven't tried it for a while, okay, so let's say it was working for you and then it stopped working for you, so you stopped putting it on. I get it. Try it again. That's one thing I've really learned. Some things, when they stop working, it's like, okay, great. Try it again. It costs you nothing. Again, obviously you're taking a little bit less, just like if you had a store, and you're running a sale or something. It costs you nothing, and it can get you more sales. And remember, you can bulk edit to up your price and to then do best offer on your items. So try it, report back, let me know how it's working for you. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye, everybody.